Hi, I'm Chumley Warner.
And I'm Mrs. Bangers. Welcome to Take the Fear Out of the Gear. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And this week we're looking at the fantastically new Zoom H8.
Slightly different this week because Si and I are using SM58s because we want to bring the whole sound to you through the H8. A lot of videos at the moment on the internet aren't quite, they're not using the damn thing, are they? They're all talking about it.
Yeah.
But they're not actually showing you what it can do. So this obviously is in podcast mode. As you'd be aware, there's field mode, there's music mode, and there's podcast mode. It's a bit lazy, really, because all that does is just takes you from one setting to another. However, it's quite simple to use. So I spent a couple of hours, I was very, very drunk, I have to say.
Oh dear.
And in music mode, it just gives you, all your tracks, they just come up and everything's ready to overdub and away you go.
Right, shall I do some stats then, dude?
I think it's a good idea.
Right, let's have a quick look. As Jay said, you can record up to 12 tracks.
I never said that.
And you've got a colour touchscreen, which is handy.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't she pretty?
And then, as Jay said, you've got all your modes, your podcast mode, your music mode, your field mode. And just to say, you can have 10 inputs, you can record 12 tracks, and you've got all your effects. You were saying it had guitar effects in there as well?
It's got hundreds of built-in guitar preamps, guitar effects, choruses, ping-pong delays, distortion. It's got tons in there, and I haven't even upgraded the firmware yet, so...
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. New firmware out as well.
I haven't done that yet.
And then you can have 6 different mic capsules.
Yeah.
I presume this is the XY capsule.
It's the same as with the H6, really. These are compatible, by the way. If you've got an H6 and you buy one of those, whatever capsules you got for the H6 you own will fit on that. They're exactly the same. So well done, Zoom, for doing that.
Definitely.
Because they have changed the DC in port. That's a different... I don't know the terminology of these leads, Simon, but that's a smaller one, USB.
I think it could be a micro USB, they call it, I think. Yes,
that's right. Yeah, they've changed it from a normal USB type style thing, this one here, if you can see that, to one of the small ones. And that was just a little bit annoying. That's the only thing they've altered. Other than that, that all compatible, mate.
And I say you've got your 6 mic capsules, which includes that one. I think they do a shotgun. They also do, quite interestingly, a 360-degree audio one. Yeah,
I haven't actually heard any recordings on that. I think there are some on the internet, but that's a weird-looking thing, man.
It is. It's sort of a bit like satellite, doesn't it? It's like space age.
And another thing with that 360 microphone, I don't know if they've made a sock for it yet. I haven't seen a windsock for it yet.
No, I suppose it's all quite new at the moment, isn't it?
And somewhat disappointing. You don't get a windsock for this, whereas when you buy an H6, you get a big foam bit.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I got one with that, but I did with my first one.
The other thing is, talking about capsules, you can add another 4 XLR inputs.
Yeah, you get another bit just like this, Tubes, right? See that bit there? You get another bit like that, only it's 4, not 6, and that clips on the top here. Man, that looks mean when you got them on. I'll see if I can put a picture up for you now. There you go, look at that. Isn't that a beast?
That is absolutely awesome. And other 2 things, well, this is not new, but obviously this Zoom is also a USB interface like the H6.
Yeah, it's an audio interface, yes, brilliant.
And the newest thing is you can make it Bluetooth enabled.
Right, problem, yeah. Now, you might have seen on our ARC video about the BTA1, which is the Bluetooth, the Bluetooth sender receiver, yeah? Right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they can fit them in mobile phones. Why they can't fit it in here, I don't know. But you've got to buy a BTA1 Bluetooth compatible card for this, and it has to be the Zoom because it fits in a slot which is very similar to the slot up the top there. It's an unusual gubbins. I think it goes in the bottom here. I'm not sure. I have to double check. And then that will then give you Bluetooth capability, but they're like £40.
And then presumably you can run it.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're going to say. Actually, just for that, I think you should have a round of applause. It's quite funny as well, so maybe some laughter. What was you saying?
I was going to say you can run it from presumably a Bluetooth phone or...
iPad. Is best, yeah.
iPad's best, okay.
Now, Tubes, a lot of people are saying that they don't like the iPad and the sliders and the face on here because you can accidentally turn it too far down on one track. Let's make one thing perfectly clear. That is for monitoring only. You cannot physically adjust your audio record input levels. They are here and there and everywhere, but they are literally potentiometers. You once they're in place, they stay there. You can't digitally move them. It is impossible. You can only adjust your monitoring mix. Okay, so let's get that right and clear now for a start. You cannot adjust your input by slipping a thumb on the front thing.
Well, which makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you're not seeing it on here, the monitoring faders, because we're in podcast mode, and I don't know how to get the faders up on this mode yet. And in case you're wondering where these are going, they're actually being recorded, I believe, on these two channels here, because when I put it in playback mode, these two will light up green. So that records them on tracks 3 and 4. So whilst you're using podcasts, you will not be able to put a mic in 3 and 4, because 3 and 4 is being used for these. Which is a bit strange. I'd have thought it would have used internal, but there you go. You may be able to assign it to left and right. I don't know.
Yeah, you might. There might be in the internal mixer.
Yeah.
You might be able to just reboot it, mightn't you?
Now, there's another thing. We're not here to slate this thing. I've got to be honest with you. I think it's fantastic. I just bought this thing, and it was £355. These are still selling for the same money. These are going for $375 in some places. The H6. What's going on, Si?
Well, you know which one to buy. They're both good machines, but the H8 is definitely good value.
What has the H6 got that the H8 got? Right, these universal sockets here, they're jack as well as XLR. Now, I call them Neutrik. Whether that's what they are or not, I don't know. But there's 4 here. 4. Now, on the H8, there's only 2 of them, and they're called A and B. Now, it's quite obvious why there's only 2, because of the angles of these. And now, these XLRs, they don't go in any deeper than that, whereas a jack comes right the way through to there. And because of the way they've designed it, there's only allowed room for 2 jack sockets, which is a bit of a shame, really, Si.
I suppose Zoom could possibly come out with, say, another capsule that would add 4 jacks.
Maybe, yeah, well, you can.
Option.
Yeah, I think so. Or, of course, the other thing is DI boxes tubes.
Yeah.
That's one thing to do. But there's so much on here I would love to be able to show you. And whether I'm going to be able to or not, I don't know. Because when I switch from mode, we might lose audio. So I'm going to now come out of this podcast mode and go into music mode. So, race fans, here we are now in what they call music mode. Sorry, you can't really see it from there.
I can see there's 4 faders on the screen.
Well, there's actually more than 4. You're seeing 4 there, but I'll hit this arrow and then it'll go from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 2, 3, 4 and A, which is that socket up there. Click this arrow again, and then we get 3, 4, A and B, and then we should get left and right. There they are, left and right.
Oh, right, cool.
So there you go. And of course, this is what I was saying earlier on, tubes. I can turn these. I'm just trying to go back to one. I can turn these faders up and down, and they will make no difference to what's being recorded on the channel at all. It's purely for monitoring purposes.
Well, this makes perfect sense, because you wouldn't want to, as you say, brush your hand against it and knock your input level down.
You wouldn't, race fans, you wouldn't. It's pop-tastical, mate, pop-tastical.
It's like jazz, isn't it? Smooth.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, it's good. And we feel really silly sitting here holding these microphones. But hey, if it sounds good. I mean, really, I suppose we should ideally hold them here like this, but I kind of, like I said to the side, put it on your chin and we talk over the top of it. So do you get that nice close mic sound, that in the closet sound, the wily brown fox jumped over the lazy dog, that kind of thing, you know. But I just want to show someone. Go on, what are you going to?
I say we could put it here or something, couldn't we? You know, just.
That's a fetching look for you, my brother.
Yeah, it looks a bit space age.
Yeah, we tied one on last night. I've got to let you know. Anyway, I'm going to show you something that nobody has yet shown on YouTube. Nobody. I've had to find this out for myself from sitting there with a bottle of vodka and just playing around with it. The amazing thing is, the next day I actually remembered what I did.
Blimey.
Right, so I'm going to show you now how to add an effect, okay, on one of these channels. Now, if you look, we've got 1 and 2 is activated up the top here, so that means we're recording in channel 1, channel 2. That's also reflected on the screen here by 1 and 2 being lit up red. Now, if I want to add an effect to my channel, which is number 1, all I do is hit this where it says number 1. Just touch it, look, and we're straight into effects. And then what I do is we can either go into track settings or effects. So I'll hit effects. And here's an effect I've just put up at random. Now you will notice this box here where it says number 1. Now that, because if you go in here and you're trying to get an effect, you can switch that on, but you'll be getting no effects at all. That will be because you're on 1 and this is probably on track 3, like this, for example. Now that's saying 3, I'm on 1. No matter what I do here, I can switch it on and off, go through every effect. I won't get nothing. So you've got to set it to the track you're on, okay? It's that simple. Nobody tells you that, all right? So now I'm going to show you what it's like when you add an effect. Oh, that's lovely, boy. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Now, that's quite nice sounding, isn't it?
That's a very sexy, deep voice you got there. Was that the VODK?
That's definitely the VODK, baby. Now, there you go. There's an effect. And there's hundreds of effects on here. I mean, there's literally hundreds. There's loads of guitar preamps. There's silly sounds like this. We turn that off now, and we're back to normal. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty stoked. I mean, there's so much on there, Si.
Well, it's everything you need. It is a minion... Oh, applause. No, we can't do it wrong mode.
Now we're in the other mode, didn't we?
I was going to say it's a mini recording studio. You can take it anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can use it with your computer. You can use it for absolutely everything. You can record your band because you've got up to 12 tracks.
You can record a band with it easy. And the good thing is with the touch screen, now I use my H6 mostly for in-ear monitoring, okay, when we're out live, which obviously isn't happening at the moment and hasn't happened for 7 months. And what I do is we come out the desk, auxiliary, and it just goes into channel 1, and then I monitor through here at the headphone socket. The only problem is it's quite awkward. If Si demonstrates, show them where the volume is for the headphone on here, Si.
Yeah, you can see there's the headphone socket.
You might want to get it where they can see it.
There you go, there's the headphone socket, and just underneath is a bit tricky when you've got a pair of headphones plugged in.
Yeah, they've put the up and down volume on right underneath the headphone jack. So live, it's a nightmare if you want to turn it up and down, you know, and you can't. You just can't get to it, you know. You get your thumb in there and you're fumbling around, it's a nightmare. Whereas with this, you've got your on there, look, all your volumes. Your headphone volume, you just click that there, right? There's your headphone. Picture of headphones up there. It's so simple, right? We're coming back through the speakers now. You might be able to hear it. So I'll turn that right down. That's probably where we should have had it. So the audio probably sounds proper now because we're not getting coming back through the speakers. So at least we get to hear the difference. There's your headphone socket. Volume. Touch screen. Fantastic. I really don't know what else to say. There's an awful lot. I haven't learned how to use it properly yet, but right, value for money, the H8, buy it. Don't even hesitate. They say it's ugly, it looks like an alien, it's a spider. I think it looks kinky as hell, man.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? Sci-fi alien. That's the kind of thing I'm into. Awesome.
But touchscreen, right, there's a guy out there, bless him, he's gone on there to diss this thing. He's called it the Hate. I don't know if you've seen his video, H8, hate. Well, I get that, that's fine. And he moans about the touchscreens. He says, oh, look at the thumbprints on the touchscreen. Geezer, your videos are awesome, but really is all you can do is moan about some thumbprints on a screen? You got mobile phones. You got thumbprints on them screens. It's something we live with every day. It's not a big problem.
He needs a cloth, doesn't he? Just to give it a wipe.
Yeah, I can't knock the guy. I can't remember his name. His videos are bloody good, well edited. And he basically went to knock this, to slag it off. But he actually says in the end, you know, it's a good product. So good for him, but he sort of said the only thing he moaned about was thumbprints on the screen and how you could accidentally slide that down and screw up your recording, but you can't.
No, is that like that song? No, that's Coins in the Fountain, isn't it?
I've never heard a song, Coins in the Fountain.
No.
Which song you talking about?
Well, it's the one like
Islands in the Stream.
Oh, maybe it was thumbprints on the screen.
Oh yeah, thumbprints in the screen. We've gone loco, Chumley has. Listen, Tubes, I don't think there's much else to go on about with this thing, really, to be honest with you. You can field record and all that. When you put it in field record mode, it basically just activates these two, so you've got a stereo XY. And yeah, you can turn these round and go from 90 to 120. It's just the same as the H6. Anything you'd like to say? So what do you think on the product design? I mean, look, in all honesty, how much do you think forward or backwards? I know what I think.
Well, as you say, it's definitely forward.
Definitely.
The only thing that you could say is like we said, the XLR dual connectors, the XLR jacks. You've only got 2 on this one, you've got 4 on the other, but as I use a DI box, it's no biggie really at all.
No, none at all. I'd like to see it with all 6 cannons in, actually. I haven't done that yet. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
That would be excellent, wouldn't it?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Tubes and Grooves, I do hope you've enjoyed this. It's something passionate for me. Hopefully Simon will get to dig it soon. Once he gets his H6 and plays around with that, he might have much more respect. But this thing, I can do so much with this. We do the show out here. I make my videos. Let me just plug my channel, Bangers68, okay, YouTube. Have a look at the music videos I've made, and everything is recorded on the H6. I haven't done one. Well, I've recently done one with the H8, the last one, which isn't very good because I didn't know what I was doing with this thing. But that's how versatile they are.
Oh, they're awesome. And as you say, you can use it as an audio interface too, so it's an all-round winner.
You can't go wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Tubes and Groovers. It's just take the fear out of the gear. From me, Jason Bangers.
And for me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
We'll see you on the next one, guys. Have a good one.